Welcome back, everybody. You are watching The Only Marathon, a speedrunning marathon in memory of the Only Kid, raising money for the Trevor Project. They are the world's largest suicide prevention and crisis intervention organization for LGBTQ young people. And we thank you all for your incredible generosity. So far, we have raised $9,016, and hopefully much, much more as this marathon continues to roll along. Now, with us, we have RPG Hidden Wizard, along with Tej and Roman, bringing us Hellpoint. RPG, the floor is yours.
Hello everybody, I'm really looking forward to doing this run. Like Nordic Souls just said, I'm joined by the handsome, hydrated hunk that is Roman, and the tenacious, titillating, tantalising, and also handsome hunk that is Tej. How are you doing this evening, lads? This afternoon?
This afternoon, doing very well. Just up myself on some coffee, so I'm nice and awake for this run. Doing all good.
Hellpoints. Yeah, hello, all of you lollies out there in chat. If you remember this voice, I've been hosting the Knuckles blog, and if I cough every now and then, I also had an espresso, but I inhaled it instead of drinking it, so yay me.
Roman failed to human.
Indeed. Right. Shall we get underway? Because there's going to be a little bit of opportunity for talking as we start.
I think we shall.
We are going to be doing Hellpoint, which is a sci-fi Souls-like. We're going to be doing all bosses and Glitchless. Starting in 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Good luck on the run, my friend. So, Hellpoint itself is a really, really interesting and cool game. For those of you who are familiar with the Dark Souls games and have played perhaps Dead Space as well, just throw both of them in a pot and then you have this game. So it is a Souls-like game, meaning it is very similar to the Dark Souls games in gameplay style, but the setting is in a... what's the word? In a derelict space colony. It's in the aftermath of a massive quantic cataclysm, and you're playing this nameless, bald spawn dude who has been sent here to, quote-unquote, gather data and send it back to the boss.
Yep, and you're stranded on a space station of a place called Irid Novo, which is orbiting around Sagittarius A.
Yep, which, if you don't know what that is, it's the black hole, it's a supermassive black hole at the centre of the Milky Way galaxy, which is like literally the coolest setting. I'm doing a cheeky bit of marathon safety here by quitting out and then loading back in again to regain a healing charge. Because for some reason, when you rest at breaches, you don't regain health, but if you quit out, you do. So, just in case, I get absolutely clarted by the first boss, I want that extra healing charge.
The massive gaping hole in the room right there that you saw right now is a so-called breach. These are the bonfires of the game. If you remember what the bonfires are from Dark Souls games, they're basically your resting points where you can level up and do other things. And similar to Dark Souls, in the top right, we see a little icon which at the moment still has a 0 on it. These are RPG's Axions. It's the game's equivalent of Souls, which are used to level up and buy stuff and, just the in-game currency.
Exactly, and what we're going to do here is grab a few loose Axions just dotted around on the floor and call down this lift, which makes loads of noise and aggroes everything in the room, including this giant demon that is only here because I have manipulated the clock to start at this exact time. You can see in the top left there's a clock. The best way to put this is that real time matters in this game, kind of. So the two arcs on the side spawn mini-boss events or extra enemies. Because I've started the game in the arc, that giant demon down there that would absolutely wreck me if I went anywhere near him is I'm going to do a little quick bit of movement tech here really quickly. This is very close to frame perfect, but if I rotate the thumbstick just quickly enough and just gently enough, we spin around on the spot, and it's frankly my favourite bit of movement tech in any video game because it is completely pointless.
You should have played it off as some kind of RNG manipulation. It's it makes bosses easier. It's the most crucial part of the entire run.
I mean, I certainly hope it does because we're coming up to the first boss, and usually this guy wrecks me, which is why I've bothered to go and get my extra healing charge. Because the only thing I have to fight this weird entropy lich man is my trusty pipe, and I see he's being bad right off the bat.
Yeah, so the boss is. Yeah, RPG, go ahead. RPG, I say, Teach, go ahead, my friends.
Yeah, so this first boss is the Archon Slayer. It has a very lethal quick hit free combo. Quick free hit combo, sorry. But the attacks are well telegraphed. So unless you have snail-like reactions, it shouldn't cause too much of a problem.
Yeah, as with most bosses in Soul games, the best strategy is to just either strafe around them or use your dashing, dodging ability and just smack them in the back, which is the reason why quote-unquote RNG is somewhat a factor in this fight, where if the boss stands with the back to the wall, you obviously can't get behind the boss and smack him in the back. The second weapon that we have is a pipe, with big quotation marks, because the pipe also has like some metal attached to the front, which makes it more of a hand axe, but it's still referred to as a pipe, so I don't know.
I mean, the pipe is a staple of any good action game, right?
Very true. Oh dear, that's a fast combo. Okay, that's fine.
I mean, I think the most basic of weapons in any game is a stick. And what is a type if not a metal stick?
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a sci-fi stick.
A sci-fi stick?
I'll tell that from a plumber the next time he comes over, just be like, could you like fix the sci-fi sticks in the wall?
Exactly. That actually wasn't too bad for the Archon Slaver.
Yeah, it was a very quick Archon Slaver fight.
When it comes to story, we just defeated the first boss, gathered some data, and now talking back to our big boss, being like, hello boss, I've gathered some data, would you please collect it?
I think I might have just walked away from him too soon. I did, yeah. Wow, I've not done that before. At least I only have to do one cutscene, one bit of dialogue again. Sorry, Computer Dad, I'll be more, conscious next time.
We had to go to the observatory now.
And this is basically our filing shrine.
Yeah. It's just basically, it's a safe place to upgrade your stuff, to level up. Going to be doing pretty much none of that here, because we're still very early game.
I'm going to try and slide down this, because it's cool.
Oh, but nice. It's a place that can come back to later on in the run.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's... Wow.
Okay, I got out of it.
Okay.
That's never happened before.
Add it to the tally.
Yeah, can I grab a couple of items here? I'm going to grab this armor set because the first run I watched of this does, and equips one of it, and I just do out of habit. And I'm going to put this melee upgrade into my pipe because I still need to use it for 2 more bosses. It's my main damage source on the next boss, and after that we get our primary damage weapon for the rest of the game, which is the magnificent cube.
I want you guys to keep an eye out for a recurring theme in this run, which is elevators. This game is a big fan of elevators. There is a lot of elevator sections, but RPG does get to practice his precise movement tech while he's in the elevators.
Yeah, this elevator is going to be quite long, so Nordic, if you've got any messages, now would be a really good time.
Absolutely. Again, I just wanted to give some shout-outs here. A massive shout-out and a big thank you to Argic, who has offered us his channel this weekend to host this marathon, the Only Marathon. Keep in mind that he streams every day, apart from Thursday and Friday, so feel free to follow this channel if you like Sonic speedrunning, or just for casual gameplay every Tuesday. We'd also like to extend our thanks to Chill Hop Music for being the provider of much of the music that you've been hearing on stream in between each of these runs. And if you want to check out their music label, all the link via the Chill Hop command right there in chat.
I actually got a lot of those in a row there. That was not bad, actually, for just spinning on the spot. Genuinely impressed. That was actually kind of pog, as the kids would say. Gonna just wait till this gets near the end and hop off.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, as with some other Dark Souls games, you can jump, which allows you to skip certain sections or just skip certain elevators. It's a risky thing if you jump too early, obviously fall to your death, but RPG being as well versed in the game as he is has no issue with that. At the bottom of these elevator thingies, we're now activating another of the bonfires. Yes, I'll refer to them as bonfires. I'm a Dark Souls fanboy. And eventually we'll also end up leveling up our stats, because as is with other Souls-like games, you have stats which you can level up using your axioms.
Yeah.
However, the axioms, I think I noticed, which I really, really like in the game, I don't know why, it's just the mathematician in me. The axioms you gather are always in, like, funny numbers.
Yeah, so, like, the ones that are loose are always, like, exactly. They're always, like, 5x5, 4x4, etc. There's a really, really big one I'm going to be grabbing just after this boss, actually. There's a neat little thing, though. Sorry, go ahead.
It's just a neat little thing. It doesn't really serve anything. It's just numbers after all, but I think it's nice. It has something. Yeah. It adds to the futuristic setting, in my opinion.
Yeah, like, and the reason I didn't bank my souls and level them up at the previous breach is it wouldn't make a difference because none of the stats I'm going to level make me better with the pipe. So now we have to fight the worst dog in a video game. I'm gonna mostly let Tej and Roman handle this because I need to listen out for his cues.
Yeah. So this is the Celestial Beast. has a very wide range of attacks. It can mostly be countered by dodging to his right and immediately attacking, as this will allow you to pretty consistently combo him with 2 hits at a time.
So with the boss, you also want to try to get him like close. Like the boss jumps around every now and then, as you saw right now. And the thing is, you want to make the boss jump in the small part of the rectangle, quote unquote, some of the long area, so you can stick close to him and smack him as much as you can. The boss itself, in my opinion, really cool design, like the color choices and such. Like visually, especially the boss is really cool. It is a pain to fight it though, because as you see, the like move he does with his tentacle thingamajig is just painful to stand within. Takes a lot of damage, and he also tanks a lot of damage. He's not a bullet sponge, as one would refer to as in a shooter, but the boss takes a lot of it, because we have just the base pipe, and as RPG said, he could have leveled up, he could have used the axes to bump some points into the standard boosts of his pipe damage. But alas, we will later in the run gain another weapon, which we will talk about later in the run, but that scales with a different stat. So don't just level damage higher, please, but you level up specific stats that your character have, and depending on the weapon, they scale with these specific stats. So if you pump everything and just strength, for example, it wouldn't help with a... Apologies.
You're alright, you're okay.
That wouldn't help with a weapon that scales with, let's say, intelligence or something like that. So that's something you need to be aware of when playing any Souls game, to be honest.
Sick.
As you can see...
Actual goated RNG there.
Yeah, like as you can see, this boss fight in particular is very heavy on the RNG, and there's almost no telegraphing of the attacks. So your best bet is just to literally dodge everything and run away if necessary.
Nice.
And
that was pretty clean.
Yeah, that was very clean. Celestial Beast fight.
Just gonna not button mash this dialogue because I get a choice of where to go now, and if I choose the top option, my run is over. So I have to be very, very careful there. I'm gonna do another little bit of marathon safety here, and I'm gonna just sidetrack very quickly to pick up an item that will give me a little bit of bonus health. It's really interesting the way this works, in that it literally increases my health stat by, I think, either 2 or 3. But it makes me count as if I got those as levels. So it actually makes my levels more expensive. So I'm going to unequip it. Or at least in theory, I'm going to remember to unequip it before I level up, just to make sure that I get, maximum usage out of it. I'm going to head up here and then backtrack in a second because I need this breach synchronizer. What this does is it will let me hook up any breach that I choose to the fast travel network. Some breaches are automatically linked to it, many are not. It's really interesting casually because it gives you the choice of, oh, do I link this breach now, or do I come back later? Do I wait for the next one? And you sort of find them quite sparingly. In the speedrun, I only actually need 3 of them. There are only 3 breaches I ever need to return to.
Yes, that makes the usage of the breaches relatively tricky in a casual playthrough, because you need to... As the casual player plays the game for the first time, you don't know how many of these synchronizers you have, and you need to think ahead when to use them, because if you just spam them out every time, you'll run out of it eventually.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to do a very, very minor detour here for another bundle of souls, and this one is a tiny bit out of the way, in that it's slightly longer to reach than the others. But I'm grabbing it because it gives the same amount of souls as the first boss did. So it's like, yes, I'll have that, please.
Yeah, it's a very considerable amount of Axions.
Exactly. I'm going to go and grab a safety breach as well now. I want to jump down there to the right of me to go get my Wondrous Cube. But before I do that, because I haven't leveled up anyway, I don't have the stats for it. So I'm going to come in here, grab this breach, and it just gives me a really safe way to just save and quit in a second as well. One thing that's a little bit different in this to how Dark Souls does save and quit is, in Dark Souls, if you save and quit and then load back in, can you get off the tram, please, Colin, you gremlin? I've decided that gremlin's name, Colin.
Shout outs to Colin.
You spawn back in where you were, and enemies will de-aggro. In this, enemies will de-aggro, but you also spawn back in at the last breach you touched, which is really handy for being able to, skip backtracking. So I'm going to go up here, grab this, and then instead of do anything risky, just save and quit. Which will also give me a healing charge back, which is convenient for this upcoming boss. I'm going to equip the health module, which will make it a tiny bit safer. But if I did it without the health module, every single one of his melee swings would leave me on 1 HP, which obviously makes the boss a little bit stressful.
Yes.
So we're gonna try and make it a little bit less stressful. But we're gonna do our first level up now. We're gonna dump all of our points. Well, 10 points into Foresight, which is this game's magic stat, because my build is mage build, and then the rest of them will go into Energy, which is basically my MP.
Oh,
So I'm gonna consume all of these. Yum yum yum. Foresight to 10, Energy to 10, and then I'll do Foresight a bit higher. I'm then going to equip my health module and equip my glorious cube. This is going to be our main damage. Actually, you know what? I should probably get the health back that I just gained from putting that thingy on. So let's do that.
So it's the Hadron of Light, and it's basically a shotgun cube.
Yeah, basically. Its damage per bolt isn't amazing, but if you get close to a enemy and then hit them with all 3 bolts, the damage on it is genuinely incredible. It's also like an energy weapon, which is like this game's equivalent of the light element, and very few things actually resist it, which makes it a really good choice for the speedrun. It's quite risk-reward though, which is nice. The pipe we still need, because the only way to regenerate our mana is to do melee hits. At the moment, we only have the pipe for that. After this, we get my favourite weapon in the game, which is the Blappy Stick.
Amazing choice of name.
Okay, bad RNG. Okay, how that hit me, I don't know, but that's fine.
Yeah, the shots in this game have this awesome thing to them where they track you. Like, some of the bullets will just move along with you, and that's...
perfect.
Goodbye!
Where is he?
This boss is very much what you see, what you get. Artillery. Big simpleton. Just walks around and smashes things. But he's very powerful. Very, very powerful. He can knock you down in just a couple of hits.
Very big dude, very big gun, and as you can see, he hits really, really hard. The only positive thing is, as is common with most big chunky dudes in Souls-like games, they tend to be really slow, which allows you more than enough time to dodge and weave and just attack. But if you get hit, it hurts a lot. But then again, obviously it's just way too good. The boss is vanquished, not defeated. Vanquished sounds far more epic.
Yeah, can I get some Fs in the chat for the pipe now, because that's the last time we're going to see it for the run.
Bye bye pipe.
Bye pipe.
I don't like that you're on the stairs, because that means you get in the way. Now I can grab my cool armor set and my Blappy Stick, and I'll explain why I call it the Blappy Stick when I've equipped it in a moment. It's like, the reason I still need a melee weapon, I actually don't have the stats to use this weapon and get the actual amount of damage out of it, but, oh dear me, he nearly blocked me while falling off the map. Melee weapons have like a hidden stat. Well, I say hidden. It's just a stat called Leech, and that's what fills up my energy bar. And the Blappy Stick has quite high Leech, and it's got a move that hits 4 times. And when I use it on this next boss, you'll see why it's called the Blappy Stick, because that's the only way I can describe how it works. I'm going to grab this breach now. I might as well level up while I'm here really quick. I'm going to save and quit to this one in a moment, because I need to grab a key item from down this corridor, and the chance of me getting back down it without getting body blocked... actually, equip the Blappy Stick, come on. The chance of me getting back down the corridor without getting blocked in by horrible enemies is really low. And honestly, I'd like to refill my healing charges anyway.
It's not even Fishy Friday yet. Just adds to the flavor.
No, it's working fine here. We can see it fine on Discord.
These fish are the Souls dogs. They are possibly my least favorite Dark Souls dog in any video game. They've got a laser, and they've got a charge. It tracks you, and
we're not the next boss called the Consumer. It's basically me in a video game, and
really unpleasant.
like as I mentioned earlier before, big chunky dude, so relatively easy to dodge and weave and hit, but he has some really, really nasty moves, or where he just sits down, flails around, and it hurts a lot when you're way too close.
But okay, I'd say.
Luck.
All right, folks, while we're waiting for the run to get kicked back off here, I do have a couple donations to read. First off, we've got $5 from our very own Roman, who says, hey, quick PSA, don't inhale espresso. My throat still feels funky, but in all seriousness, this marathon has been incredible so far. Good luck on your run, RPG. Much love to you, fam. I will also donate $2 for every death in the run. I'd love to see chat match that. We also have $5 coming in from Danger Diamond. They say, I wasn't going to donate any more today, but I lied. Massive shoutouts to Tech for being so on it. And indeed, huge shoutouts to our Tech team. You guys have been killing it this run, or this entire marathon for that matter. So with all of that, that brings us up to $9,026 raised for the Trevor Project thus far. Something else to bring up, we do have a new incentive open. It is a $500 incentive for a run that's going to happen in about 9 hours, which is Deltarune. And that incentive would be to see the original Starwalker. So we are $26 out of the $500 that we need to make that happen. And you've got a little over 9 hours to make that happen. So do get those donations in. So yeah, we'll be back live with RPG Hidden Wizard just as soon as we can. Just kind of working out those little technical hitches.
I think we're back. Are we back? Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I've been replaced by a Goomy. I love my Goomy, so I just thought, I became Goomy temporarily. I should be able to just load back in right before the boss fight that I'd ran off to, and very helpfully got pulled out of just in time because I'd almost beaten him to death with a Blappy stick.
Just saw my new favorite character, Backup Chan.
Yeah, Backup Chan is in case the quest bugs at the very, very end. I'm thinking now about how I'm going to do this because I'm going to have to be very quick in some sections for the RTA. But what we missed is I grabbed a key down there, then I quit out because that corridor's awful, and then I ran down here, and this is where the big E.T. boy himself is. And this time, hopefully, I'm going to have a less stressful fight with him because, boy, let me tell you, I did not do a very good job of dodging his patterns.
There he is.
I'm gonna unload all of my energy straight away, and you can sort of see the damage on this thing. Like, I mean, you would have seen it with artillery, but I hate this tanty move. Stop that. Gonna just shoot him again, and again, and again, and then one more shot. Right, now I'm out of energy, and I need to wait. So I'm gonna. Okay, that's perfect. This is why I call it the Blappy stick. because I run in and I go blap, and that generates lots of energy very quickly. I think I need to do one more of that. Oh, no, bad move. That was lucky. Hate this boss. Can you do the overhead swing, please? Stop doing this! I don't like this, I hate it!
But I don't want to eat my veggies.
Okay, that could have gone worse. That could have gone worse. It could have gone better. We got away with it. It's all fine. Consumer has perished. I'm gonna grab another passport. I can use this to go back to that other breach and open the other doorway, which I'll be doing in a little bit. I'm gonna grab this breach, because I'm gonna teleport back to this in a while. And I'm gonna level up first. I'm gonna level my... yes, that'll do. 18. I get extra bit of damage on the cube this way.
So
this... Go ahead.
I was just saying, like, who's like in the mood for a nice little walk through the park?
Yeah.
A little hike through the park is always nice, right?
Nice.
Probably,
Nice future park.
a good time for donations and stuff right now as well, I would say.
Yeah, just a bit of running.
Well, you know, I'd like to bring up what we're raising money for, and again, that is the Trevor Project. They are the world's largest suicide prevention and crisis intervention organization for LGBTQ young people. For the last 21 years, Trevor has worked to save young lives by providing support through their free and confidential crisis programs on platforms where young people spend their time, online and on the phone. So Trevor Lifeline, Trevor Chat, and Trevor Text are their spaces. They also run Trevor Space, the world's largest safe space social networking site for LGBTQ youth, and they operate innovative education, research, and advocacy programs. Again, we have raised $9,026 for such an amazing cause thus far, with many hours of speedrunning yet to go. So, thank you all for your generosity, and thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, Chad, you've all been amazing. Thanks to every single one of you for the donation. We are now fighting Alice's wife. Massive shout out to Alice.
Oh, so yeah, shout outs to Alice for taking one look at this enemy and going, "This is my wife."
I mean, to be fair, our praying horse is the name of the boss. Really, really cool boss design-wise, in my opinion. It has all the right vibes, in my opinion. And yeah, the thing is, pretty simple boss in theory. Like, she has her little combo move with her weird arm blade thingy-majingy. Not too difficult to fight. It's just keep your distance, know when you can jump in and shotgun it in the belly. Like,
and know when to run in and do a bit of Blappy Stick.
Yeah, the Blappy Stick's the most important part.
Should be able to get it now.
I think it's a really interesting concept that you don't have mana potions per se, but you actively need to go to the melee fighting to rebuild your mana.
Yeah. I'm going to detour here briefly to pick up a plot item, because there's an NPC I need to interact with later in the game that is required for unlocking the best ending. Well, both of the best endings, but the ending I'm doing today, which lets me fight the true final boss. Inexplicably, sometimes he just doesn't work. The speedrun community for this game, shout outs to Hellkite and Jungle Robber in particular, have done quite a lot of sort of theory into how we can not bug him. And basically all we've got is smoke and mirrors, and we don't really know how it works. So we just repeat the actions of the one time that it didn't break. Which is, go grab that book. We won't give that book to the NPC, we're just going to keep it.
My orders now! We're going back to into a hike through the park, but the park, as is like custom with many parks, has an underground area where we're going to interact with these weird purple like plate thingamajingy, which seems ominous, seems really friendly. I think it's a good idea to touch it. I mean, it has a hand symbol on it, it's very inviting.
Yeah, definitely, you know, just go touching random things.
Yeah,
that's definitely safe.
Like all good public parks, it's got a monolith that takes you to the underworld underneath it, so...
Just my casual Sunday hike, honestly.
Exactly. We need to come into the underworld here because there are a couple of bosses that are hidden away in them. They're extremely challenging, so when I get to the boss, I will need to ask just for a quick moment of silence while I concentrate. But this particular underworld is really useful because there is a breach synchronizer in here, and that was nice and quick to pick up. So if I can just have a quick moment here while we fight the third Archon Knight.
Silence on the tea, please.
Oh, thank you. That one was really stressful.
That was so clean.
RPG, that was well done.
That was
on the edge of my seat here.
Really challenging boss, that one. Woof.
Oh.
Can we get some hype in chat? Like this deserves nothing but pure praise and hype. Like well done, RPG. This boss is an absolute challenge.
Thank you.
We meme about how hard that boss is, but he can kill you in like 2 to 4 hits.
If
close enough.
If he does the opener that isn't charge forward and does the combo, and I don't dodge in time, I get stun locked and instantly killed and look like a moron.
Yeah. So it's like one of those things. Like, yeah, it's an easy boss, but also don't take it lightly.
Yeah. I'm gonna strike off to a little side area here and not get killed by a demon to grab a crafting material that I need to make a important plot item out later in the game. There are 3 I need to pick up. They're all dotted about, and I believe there's only 1 of each of all the really rare crafting materials. Of the 3, that one's probably the least out of the way to pick up. That was not great. I think I might be okay. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I mean, I can heal if need be, so...
You went fall on Obi-Wan, they're just dropping down to the enemy. Hello there!
Yeah. Well, one thing you can do in this is if you do a heavy attack while in midair, you cancel all of your momentum. It also has a secondary benefit of sort of resetting the height you were falling from, so that you take less damage when you fall. I just didn't think to do it in time, because I thought... I'll be honest, I was being cocky and just thought I was going to be safe.
As we mentioned bosses before, as if you haven't noticed yet, the game does have a tendency to quote-unquote reuse some of its bosses as casual enemies now throughout the rest of the run. So we saw a few more of the quote-unquote celestial beasts, like the doggo with the 2 tentacles.
Yeah, we joked about it being a nice relaxing walk through the park, but every single enemy in that park is a mini-boss. It was really fun on my first playthrough when I realised. I was like, oh no. So I'm going to hop down into the underside of the arcology, and I'm going to synchronise this breach, and then I'm going to hop back to the observatory to do a bit of weapon upgrading. Yeah. If there's any messages, now would be a really good time. Synchronise that.
I just want to, again, bring up that this marathon is being presented by the team over at Fast Pace Events. They were founded in January of this year, and their mission is to promote mental health and LGBTQ awareness through speedrunning, as well as raising money for mental health and LGBTQ charities by beating games at a fast pace. So you can find more information about the team by checking out the Twitter account over at twitter.com/fastpacedevents.
And just like that, we've hopped back to the observatory, and I have really quickly slotted that catalyst I picked up from just in front of the monolith and upgraded my cube to +5, which boosts the damage quite significantly. I'm then going to go and grab another breach synchronizer. That's the last one I'm going to need to pick up. And then I'm going to ignore everything else in this entire area. There is a key item we used to pick up in here that was planned for an EVA suit to go out into space. But it turns out we can actually just be fine. Well, I say be fine. We can just about get away with being in space without needing it in the long run. So we've figured that out now, which is really helpful.
Science lesson! Why is it important to have a special suit in space? Well, space has this nasty thing which is called space radiation, and also like lack of breathing things.
Yeah, it tends to not be a terribly hospitable environment. Ouch.
Really awesome looking. Like, I'm a big fan of space. Space looks amazing. I wish we could go to space, like, casually. But yeah, not the friendliest place if you don't have certain equipment.
Yeah, it's not amazing to try and exist in. We've got to do quite a bit of my favourite thing about this video game now, which is elevators. This is going to take us up. This is going to basically skip us an entire area. So we've been the whole game is very non-linear. You can do most of the areas, well, all the areas in whatever order you want, basically, and fight the major bosses in any order. But by activating this lift, we're going to set up a sequence of events to just completely skip an area and go straight to a main boss. I also, while I'm here, I want to equip something, and it is my new healing item. I picked that up on the way into this area. It's the anti-rad injection, which what you would expect that to do would be to remove radiation from you, which is what it does. It just also, for some reason, heals you exactly the same as the the base healing injection, so there's basically no reason to ever swap back after this point, and to just keep that one equipped. There is a really sick jump you can do here. So if I was feeling very brave, you can jump and land on that tower and run in there to call the lift down as it ascends. If you miss though, you land on a small slope. And you can stand on the slope perfectly fine, you won't die, but you can't get off the slope without falling into the pit. If you fall into the pit, you respawn at the bottom of the area, and the tower is all the way up, and your run is over. So I don't do that. I choose not to. I have seen people lose runs to it. It's really unfortunate, but it is kind of funny as well.
It's a high risk, high reward thing. It's a big question of are you willing to go for the quote-unquote skip, which saves a few precious seconds, or just kills your entire run.
Yeah, exactly. We can practice a bit more RNG manipulation and movement tech here. I had it a minute ago, but I think it's harder on this lift, or it feels like it. There we go. That's better.
Most important technique in the game, my friends. It is really, really crucial to the success of the run.
Exactly.
It's a fine example of pro gaming right there.
Indeed, that's a true gamer moment right there. Right, I'm going to... There's a breach under here that I would normally skip, but I'm going to grab it just in case I get wrecked by this upcoming boss. It's not a difficult boss, but there's still the real risk that I could just get wombo comboed by it, so I'm going to choose to be careful. All the enemies on the way to it, to be honest, they're in really unfortunate places, and it basically mandates that I'll need to kill them to get past, because trying to dodge past them is a terrible idea. They've also got two possible attacks. One is that really quick lunge, and one is... Okay, they're doing the quick lunge again. One is really slow, so you've got to be very careful with when you actually start the attack or you get hit. But with those three done, I should be able to make it to the boss now without too many issues. Oh look, it's the first boss again. Hello, Archon Slaver. Bye-bye.
Hello, I've returned. Goodbye.
Right. Extremely challenging boss, round 2. What are you going to do?
Yeah, after we fought the third Archon Knight, it is naturally the order of numbers that we fight the second Archon Knight.
Right.
Downwards.
He was being really unpleasant there, not going to lie. I'm going to rest at this breach, actually, just so I can save and quit and get my heal back. I'm pretty confident with this next boss. But just in case, I'm going to quit out and make sure I've got that extra healing charge.
Euthos, the Ashenborn, which is not the character you play in Dark Souls, it is a boss in this game.
Indeed.
Dark Souls is more the Ashen one.
Yeah, I'm keeping my eye on the time here because there's a certain section of the game that I need to have cleared before the clock hits the 9 o'clock part. It looks like I've got about, when I'm not running around in circles, lost. Looks like I've got about 20 to 25 minutes to get to that point, which should be doable. If I don't get there in time, it means that I have to go really out of my way to pick up the final crafting material. It's not the end of the world. I know how to do it, and it will probably add an extra 4 or 5 minutes on, but it would be really nice if I could skip it through a really interestingly done mechanic in that there's a little gremlin I can trade food with, and he will give me items, and I'm going to use that to just get a really important one, but I'm sort of at the point where I need to be very, very careful, because a mistake would probably mean that I need to adjust the route quite quickly on the fly. Also, we get to sit in another lift again. That little Templar man that I ran past as well, sometimes he will just run at you and follow you into the lift, and that's really bad, because you're in a tiny environment.
Just to put out, like, on the way here, the big cannon dude yet again. Nice use of the iframes when dodging. It's always satisfying to see a Souls-like game where dodges are used, or, like, utilized very well. Yeah,
the iframes are very generous, but that makes it feel really rewarding. This is Uthos the Ashenborn. He is definitely the Doom boss.
Here we have full stance fireman. He can't instantly kill you, so you have to be extra careful.
I mean, when it comes to design and visuals, I think that is one of my favorite bosses in the entire game. He just looks absolutely awesome and badass. But the thing is, very Doom design, and as is custom with Doom, the boss can hit really hard, as Teach just said. So RPG needs to be careful. There are many telegraphed attacks. Just use the blappy stick to go blah 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 blah, and then use the Doom's huge shotgun. But caution is still requested and required. Because there are some really, really evil moves the boss can pull off, like a meteor shower and set a floor on lava.
He was doing one of his moves that's really safe for me to hit him in, and I accidentally staggered him during it.
Yeah, that is not what we haven't touched upon so far. You can actually stagger bosses when you hit them enough time to deal enough damage.
Nice.
That's good, that was a pretty clean fight.
From here, I need to level up a bit first. Actually, hold on. I'm going to level up to... hang on. Hold on. Unequip that so I get, level ups that are sensible. And I'm going to level up. You're going to go to 20... No, I'll do it all the way to 27. It's fine. Then I'm going to put that back on. I do need to actually level my health in a bit because I will be unequipping the health cube in a bit. But for now, I'm going to hop back to the customs bridge to go to that area that I skipped over last time.
Yeah. Back to archaeology.
Yeah, this is the breach that I synchronized just after the Celestial Beast. This time I'm going to use the passport I got from just after the consumer to unlock the other doorway to the Zone district. One thing that is kind of interesting from this point on, there are 3 of those cosmic gods. There's Uthos and then there's 2 more coming up. After you kill one of them, it affects the areas that you go through after this point and puts difficult or more dangerous enemies in them. So if I come through here first, this little hand spider wouldn't have been there. That's an enemy that absolutely terrified me the first time I saw it. Except listening to the stupid gurgling noises they make now, I find them extremely endearing.
Yeah,
and we're going to get to hear them gurgle a lot now.
I actively dislike about the run.
How can you dislike them, Tees? They sit there going...
I mean, honestly, I think they're the nicest enemy in the entire game because they're just trying to give you a hand.
Big spidery enemies.
Listen to them! Look at how hard they try! That one literally just somersaulted off the map.
Look what I can do!
To quote Joey from Friends, I feel like they're on me.
Oh, he's right in the way, that enemy. That's fine. So, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just fall. One thing I haven't touched on yet is that those lifts... there is fall damage in the game. If you fall from a certain height, you'll just pancake and die. If there's a lift there, though, and you're quick enough at interacting with it after you've fallen beyond the point where you die, you live. It's really cool. I'm going to put my hands up and say I'm straight up not brave enough to try any of them just yet, but it looks really, really satisfying when it's done well. You're going to get in the way. Shotgun you. Right, I need to be a little bit careful here because of that fish. I should be good, yeah.
I still like the Rubik's Cube shotgun. I think it's a really, really neat weapon.
There are 3 of them. This is the light one. I believe there's also one for induction, which is fire damage, and one for entropy, which is cold. I think they are... The other 2 are quite out of the way, so there's not really any opportunity to or scope to pick them up, but they're cool weapons.
The portable induction stove.
Indeed. Also, one thing that I can mention, but I don't use in the run, is as you use weapons, you get... you sort of build up experience with the weapon itself and unlock different attacks. I've probably unlocked the second attack for the cube by this point, but it's worse than the shotgun, so I don't use it. Some of the other major weapons do have very powerful level 2 and 3 attacks, but I just can't pick them up quickly enough to level them up and make them useful. And oh dear, that was close.
Alice's wife part 2.
Exactly. She gave me no warning on that move.
Just going straight for the hug. It's always interesting when games do the thing where it's like, you have achieved something new. Cool. Is it better than what I already have? It's new.
What do you mean? It's brand new.
So I'm going to be a bit careful in this particular corridor because it's awful. I cannot believe I got all the way to this point without getting hit yet. Normally I get hit in there like 2 or 3 times. And I'm going to concentrate on this boss for a little bit and let TJ and Romy take over because it's hard.
Alright, so yeah, this is Arisen Congregations. A very annoying boss. They have an attack that can hit you for around about 90% of your health, and there's very little time to react. This is one of my favourite bosses to watch in the run though, because when done well, it's really satisfying to watch.
I just like the idea of having a dual boss fight. It gives a bit of a Glitchless Snorlax vibe. I mean, what are they called? Ornstein and Smoke. But luckily they don't buff up if you defeat one of the two. But these are really challenging to fight. As you saw, the one with the mace magic boom ball thing of doom is a bit easier to take out. Because this dude is just so annoying. You can just teleport, magic stick.
Ah, he blocked me. Yeah, the fact that he can just sort of hide up here out the way is... Oh dear. Okay, it's fine, I dodged it.
Yeah, this little, like, pokey thing of doom that he does, this tiny little light spike he has, it seems so... Yeah, okay, it's just a tiny thing. It takes almost all your HP away.
Yeah, if I hadn't got the health module equipped and it had hit me, it hits for about 85-90% of my health. Also, I got hit by the Mace Guy's combo, and if I didn't have the health module equipped, it would absolutely have killed me.
Watching RPG kill that boss as quickly as he did. I was watching RPG streams when he was first learning this run, and that was one of the bosses he definitely struggled with at first.
Oh, my casual first playthrough, I spent, I think, an hour and 15 minutes on that boss alone. But I was also taking a really slow and long route to get to it, which didn't help. This is the plot-important NPC that frequently bugs out, so I'm going to just be really careful with his dialogue, because I need to make sure I don't tell him about the dimension piercing that I know he's done. So I'm going to just really carefully... Nothing. Perfect. Okay, now I can mash, and now I've got to talk to him again, and then not tell him the information again.
They were just intentionally staying quiet so that RPG can focus here.
Okay, done. Focusing on not pressing the wrong button. I am going to unequip that, and then I'm going to stabilize the breach.
Yeah, the thing is, if I recall correctly, you cannot undo this. So if you tell him the... Oh, I know, by the way, that you're like an evil dude. Oh, cool. Guess I won't help you then.
I would say it's...
Be like, could you like forget the thing I said? No.
I can't undo it, but I do have a backup save for in case he does bug, because there is the non-zero chance that he just bugs out anyway. We'll know in about 15-ish minutes time, maybe 20, whether or not it bugs. But it shouldn't matter for now. Now, I've come back here because there's something important I need to do before the clock goes past when 9 PM would be. So I'm going to just really carefully fall down here. And operative word is carefully, because the air mechanics and the jumping mechanics are a bit floaty, and I have broken my legs down here more times than I'd like to admit out loud. I'm going to be completely honest. But this is a crucial step for the rest of the run, and I think I'm okay from here.
I gotta say, and give lots of props to the developers of the game, that I think it's a really unique and awesome concept that you have content in the game, or things in a game that are bound to RTA. Which, of course, can be a bit confusing if you don't know about it, because, like, a friend tells you, I've done this awesome thing. Well, it wasn't there for me.
Yeah.
That's because you played at different times.
It's, I'll be honest, it's slightly inconvenient for the speedrun. So, what I did before I started this run was I went into Windows Defender Firewall, I'm not kidding, and then blocked all of Hellpoint's communications with its server. So that, I need to go to the embassy now, so that it would... not be able to update the clock using the game server, and then I left the game running idle for about 30 minutes before I started to manipulate the timer to start where it did. It's not terribly convenient for runs, but it is an interesting thing to consider. I think starting around about the 15-minute mark skips pretty much all the really awful mini-boss events that I'd like to avoid, and leaves me able to get that nervous wiring from that little gremlin under the observatory. I will need to, at some point, Alt F4 the game, though, to reset the clock back to 12 for another mini-boss, but that's something we don't have to worry about just yet. It was really important I went and grabbed that now. I normally grab it a little bit later, but just to make sure that I don't sort of miss my opportunity to grab it. We're now going to head over to the Arisen Dominion, which is the place where... all of those little robot AI people lived. So that boss fight that I said that I really struggle with and is kind of difficult, we had to fight 2 of them at once. Yeah, that's the basic enemy in this area. Usually in packs of 2 to 4. Also Celestial Beasts, also Hand Spiders. This is kind of a difficult area. But fortunately there's a pretty expedient route through most of it. So as long as I sort of pay attention and make sure I don't get shot in the back, it's not too bad.
We've seen you struggled with these enemies. How about more struggling enemies?
I think it might be a little bit like that, yeah. I'm going to just be running around for the next 3 or 4 minutes. So Nordic, if you have any messages, now'd be a really good time.
Right on. I do, in fact. I've got a $10 anonymous donation. It says, "Good luck, RPG." And
Thank you very
I've also
much.
got a $50 donation from Sagata. They say, I'm sorry, Sagita.
Sajita.
Sagita. Boy, yeah, my pronunciation's off today. I'm sorry.
That's fine. That's fine.
But they say, "Thanks to everyone for organizing this event in such a short time, and good luck to all the runners."
Sajita, you legend.
Sajita's cool people.
Indeed.
Always
Thank
said
you both
Sagita.
for your generosity.
More axioms, but I gotta say, the bald white robe wearing dudes with the, I don't know, incense balls, I guess, and the staffs, I think, like, design was one of my favorite enemies. Like, I think
Yeah.
they look pretty cool.
Most of the enemies in this game, I'd say, are really, really cool. Although, here's a really interesting, weird, fun fact. All the enemies in this game have aggro ranges, and they'll just leave you alone after a certain bit. Except these guys, the hand spiders. He'll follow me around now forever, so we're going to take our pet on a little merry jig. I've just heard him flap around some... no, he's still coming. Open quickly, please, door.
I'm coming for you.
I'm going to eventually equip that over the health module. It massively increases the amount of blue energy I'll regain per hit. It's genuinely ridiculous with the Blappy stick. I'm going to aim my camera backwards so I can avoid exactly that.
Yeah, the tiny spike of doom. It's just terrible to feel in your back.
I'm actually going to... I'll use my heal because there's going to be a saving quick coming up in a bit anyway, so I'll get my heal back. And I'd rather be at full health for this bit because it's really scary.
Parkour.
I'm going to jump around the corner because sometimes that can be wonky.
At first I thought that this area, when I saw it, is like unintentional, that you just like sequence break or something, but it's just way too staircase-esque for not to be intentional.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely an intended path. So, if I'm really quick here, I can get 3 of the seals that I need to grab in a minute. That's one of the only crafting materials I'm going to pick up. It's called an Incellium ingot. That name is not funny, do not laugh at it, but I need it in order to actually craft the key item in order to unlock the final boss at the end of the game. I'm going to hop down here. He's going to shoot me.
What that always amuses you when you're playing this game is when you defeat enemies and the axioms that are trying to catch you, like the tiny blue sparklies behind you.
Yeah, if I'm sprinting, they don't catch me. I'm going to have a quick look at this corridor and the state it's in, and then decide whether or not... You know what, actually, based on the giant sun coming out of the doorway, I'm going to save and quit. I was like, every time I get to that bit, I open the shortcut for the breach, and I'm like, I'll turn... Because if I turn around and just run straight back down, it's a tiny bit quicker. But usually, like, there's enemies blocking it, or the hand spiders there, but this time it was just a radioactive sun, so... this game is timed IGT, like most of the Dark Souls games, so... although RTA-wise it would be slower to, like, save and quit out in a lot of places, it does save time, RTA. The reason I'm sort of running around here is that hole in the floor there. Also ignore this NPC and the fact that he's dressed like me. I need to get 4 keys to open the to unlock the lift. They're dotted around all over the place. We've grabbed 2 of them already. We're going to go grab the 3rd and the 4th ones now out the way.
I am you, but less handsome.
He is me, but less handsome, and he's less effective because instead of having a cube, he's got a shield. I mean, why?
And
What's he gonna
as we
do
all
with
know in
that?
ancient warfare tactics, cube beats shield.
Absolutely, it beats shield. You've seen what I've done to those Archon Knights.
Yep.
Here's
Speaking
a
of,
really big sun.
Touches.
Speaking of Archon Knights,
Yeah, we got one coming up. Not immediately imminent, but it is the next boss I'm going to fight. There are 4 of them total. We've done the 3rd and the 2nd. We're now going to do the 4th. Interestingly enough, the first Archon Knight is going to be basically the last boss of the game. Or the last optional boss. That's one more seal, save and quit.
Yes, optional boss, but we are after all playing all bosses category.
So he must perish eventually. So it's really interesting the way he works, because he's only accessible in a roughly 20-minute arc between sort of 11 and 1 on the clock. And because I've got to manipulate the clock between 6 and 9 for the nervous wiring, it means that being able to pick both of them up without resetting the game to manipulate the timer is, not feasible. It just does not work out RTA, so we have to manipulate the top. Why have I gone up here? Please don't kill me from fall damage. Oh. I absolutely thought I could survive that. Sorry, Roman, there's £2.
No, completely fine. I stay true to my word.
I really thought I could just make that, but apparently not. I didn't want to go up there anyway.
So for those who don't know, Roman is donating for every death.
Yeah.
I've played so clean as well. I can't believe that my first death was to something so genuinely silly. Oh, my souls are up.
That definitely wasn't accidentally on purpose.
Right, let's go get that, and then this time, don't jump down. I was sort of hoping I wouldn't have to showcase this, but if you die, in addition to leaving your souls behind in like a patch, you also spawn a ghost of yourself that's bright green. Honestly, I find it really irritating because it's just like being punished twice for dying. Especially because it uses roughly your stats and uses your weapons. So if it goes anywhere near me and uses the cube shotgun, it'll just kill me. It's really unfortunate. I'm going to wait briefly on this corridor because there are 3 dudes that are going to come out. Don't come up behind me. There are 3 dudes going to come out there and I need to get in behind them. And if I don't wait until that last one has sort of got into the line, I'll get body blocked and die. I'm going to just make sure I've got enough stamina. I'm going to zigzag.
Grab the stuff. It's
Sorted.
important. Seal of animals. Anima.
That's all 4 seals. That unlocks the lift that lets us go up to the top floor and down to the bottom floor. It will
Also,
technically... Go ahead.
This menu screen thing is one of the best looking ones I've ever seen. It's so awesome. I
It
wish
is
I
a
had
good
that
title
as a
screen.
wallpaper.
Yeah, it's a really, really good title screen. We can technically go to the second floor now, but there's no point. There's a crafting item I need at the bottom and a boss. And then the main area boss is up at the very, very top. Oh, brilliant. I didn't despawn. I mean, I don't know why I thought I would. Occasionally, like, your ghosts will just fall in a pit. You get souls for them. It's kind of helpful. They do also give you a full healing charge. I'm sort of hoping he's going to just leave me alone. I'm going to just save and quit.
Oh, I saw him.
Yeah, I was like, I don't really want to risk him pushing me in the pit. And this also does have a genuine IGT benefit in that I've just called that lift down. When I load back in, it will be in position. There's another time I'm going to need to summon the lift back, and I'll do the same thing there. I'll call it down and then save and quit to reset it.
Perhaps he's friendly. Maybe he just wants to give a hug. Has an existential crisis.
He might be. He might be. If I'd upgraded my healing item, it would be semi-useful for me to just shoot him. Because the way healing works is most healing items will charge up to 2. Every time you use a healing proficiency, which is an item I picked up during the Archaeology Underside, it can go to 3. It always starts at 2. You have to do damage to build it up to 3. So it would be kind of useful if I'd actually upgraded it. We're going to do a quick run now down through the mausoleum. I was absolutely terrified of this area when I started it, because I thought all this blue stuff was lava that would instantly kill me. Unfortunately, I was wrong. It's just a little bit radiation. It's like, you know, it makes you feel a bit sick. It's alright though.
Did you say it unfortunately doesn't insta-kill you?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like, you know, lava. Like, you know, like Isolith. Isolith's a really good area, right? Everyone loves Lost Isolith in Dark Souls, right?
It's Underworld sauna.
Yeah, so we're going to just run through this radiation water and ignore this radiation fish and run through this radiation waterfall to this little secret area where there's a portal to the underworld. There's also the, like, Patriarch King man of the AI chained up down here. I'll be honest, I remember speaking to him and learning why he's down here, but I cannot for the life of me remember why. He's just chained up. I think he has knowledge of what we can do, or what the architect, that NPC that probably will bug, wants to do to sort of unlock the true end, and that's probably why he's down here. I suspect he gives us the other bit of information we need.
I'm actually curious about chat's opinion, by the way, about the trope of hidden stuff behind waterfall.
Yeah, how do you feel
You
about
like
it when
it?
it's
Yes,
radiation water?
Exactly.
Well, just spicy water, according to someone in chat.
Yeah, it is literally spicy water, honestly. Also, that entropy man down there that just ran after me, fuddling forward with his little fingers, that's why you just don't bother to dodge past them, you just kill them. I'm just fortunate enough that I can afford to take that one hit here. because I can always just do a quick heal before I go in, because I'm going to save and quit anyway, so I'm going to get that heal back. Around this corner... Oh, look, it's the first boss.
Also, the underworld here is Loot City, but we just ignore all of it because it's not mandatory for the run or necessary.
Oh, look, it's the first boss again. Yeah, all the items that are down here are just crafting materials for sort of dark and entropy weapons, so I'm going to just ignore them.
Yeah. Forbidden spicy.
That was a difficult boss, that was.
Getting some serious deja vu here.
Yeah, there's one more of those to go. One more of those to go.
Been in this place before.
Yeah, fortunately, the last one we fight, though, I'm going to have to fight him in his black hole hour, so I'll get a tiny bit of extra souls from him, which is kind of nice. I'm going to continue to ignore my ghost over there, who's just gone and hid behind that pillar, thinking I can't see him. Yeah, there you are, I see you. Save and quit to reset the lift.
It's just so sad in my head canon. He's just trying to win your affection, like, hey, RPG.
Oh, why won't Senpai RPG notice me? I am going to not level up here, I think. Actually, no, I am going to level up. I want a little bit more energy for this boss. It can be kind of dangerous. Actually, no, I want to level my HP before it's too late. Because I need to unequip the health module now. So, this... Oh, I've had it unequipped the whole time. That's smart. I want to use the Leech Enhancer, because it's really good for this boss. I want to consume those. Oh, my health's already 4. It's like I've thought about this and planned. Can I level my energy to 12?
It's like you've run this game before.
Yeah, it's like I have some experience. Fancy that, eh?
But I gotta say, the upcoming boss, if it's the one I'm thinking of, is my personal favorite in the entire game. Like, just design-wise and all. Like, that is my #1 boss.
Yeah,
and
mine
that's
too.
Totally not because the boss is like an JoJo's Bizarre Adventure reference.
Yeah, he's really, really cool. Really cool.
And he's a stand user.
Yeah, and that will be really evident when I actually fight him. Here's the council of big AI people. I'm going to lie to them. They're going to ask me some questions. I'm going to say, you know, this has been pretty difficult. I'm investigating the events on Irid Novo, and I want to communicate with Nemundus the Undefeated, which is the name of the boss. And I'm not going to choose a top option, which is, I'd like to kill him, which is immediately what I'm going to go and do. So
they've Undisturbed.
Undisturbed. His full name is Undisturbed Defas Nemundis. And I'm now going to go and disturb him immediately. With my shotgun cube and my blacky stick.
Undisturbed.
Undisturbed.
Right, here we go. Very, very cool boss. He has very few attacks where he uses his physical body, and he predominantly attacks you with astral projections.
I told you, he's a stand user.
What's really interesting about this is jump that attack. Even if you knock him over and stun him, the body is stunned, but the mind is not. Oh dear, this is a bad move. I'm going to be really, really careful a minute.
Just throwing some devil horns up because you're feeling into good music.
That's kind of... Ah, no! I thought there was no more bolts left. Ooh. That's the only move he's got that's genuinely dangerous. It spawns like a little orb, and it just shoots heat-seeking bolts at you. It lasts a deceptively long time. A genuinely deceptively long time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call the elevator back down, save and quit, and then scoot back up again.
The thing about that attack is that even if you beat the boss while the lines of doom are following you around, they still exist and can still kill you.
Yep. Any of his attacks, if he started them after you kill the boss and deplete his health bar, they still continue. So, like, if he's doing a combo of, like, shooting out Hadoukens and you've killed him and you stand still, like, victory! You immediately perish. Technically, it doesn't matter. Really... Sorry, go ahead.
The boss is really prone to HUDsing yourself, putting a HUD
Absolutely. Technically, it doesn't matter because you could still just go back to the embassy and continue on with the next section, but then you'd lose the souls from the boss, and that's kind of bad.
Right, well, while you're running back and Roman's digging another $2 out of his wallet, I've got another donation here. I've got $5 coming in from Cowboy Knuckles. It says, hello, RPG. You are a very cool and nice friend, and I appreciate you a lot. Sending you Spoingus Energy. Also, shoutouts to Best Boy Chinstrap.
Thank you very much for the good luck and Spoingus Energy, Cowboy Knuckles. It's very appreciated. This is the Chinstrap voice for anyone that's confused.
I mean, As we're already doing it, massive shoutouts and love to RPG. RPG is a really beloved member of our SSD and group of friends, and the funniest thing ever is that you have Chinstrap, but there are also two more entities that we are big fans of, namely by the name of Colin and Opulence.
Yeah, hello, this is my Colin voice.
And this is the Opulence voice. And also, who could forget Stace and Japham? Quite fond of that one as well.
It's in shape.
Right, now that I actually killed him this time and didn't immediately perish, we now go back to the observatory, and we find out whether or not the runner's bugged, and whether or not we have to use the backup save file. Imagine there's a drum roll going on. And our survey says... He didn't bug! Hooray! NPC's here!
Hype in chat! All the hype emotes.
So, he's going to tell me about his plan, which is going to be make him a patch, and also go turn the power on for a lab. I'm going to go make the patch now, because I just can. I've gathered all the items already. What do you mean, where am I going? I'm going to go make the thing for you. I'm also going to upgrade my healing method while I'm here, because I can. I'm going to hop over to this. I'm going to process my Incellium ingot. The name is not funny, please do not laugh. And make the AI patch conductor.
Basically a glorified 3D printer.
Yeah, pretty much. Right. He's gonna like, yo, can you make me a mass AI patch? I'm like, yeah, here you go. Yeah, here you go. Here's the AI patch. Wunderbar. Right, so I'm gonna level up my catalyst first.
Chocolate bar Germany.
Plus 6. Yep. Brilliant. There was this backup, not a backup save, there was a breach I synchronized a little while ago. It was down at the underside central mall. And that's because there is a section I need to go through in a minute. One of my honest-to-God favourite bits of the whole game. It's incredibly stressful to do the way I'm doing. But I need this breach synchronized just to get here. So I'm going to ignore the sentinel. Please don't stab me. Thank you.
Just wrecking the place.
Yeah, here's a little baby consumer. Hello, little ET boy. Please don't hit me in the back while I do the door.
They remind me of myself.
Yeah. Oh, the sentinel's following me and putting swords under me. That's pleasant.
Goodbye.
Do some more manipulation.
Yeah, practice some more movement tech. You know, got to keep yourself sharp.
I'm not doing very well at this one, am I? Actually, this
No,
time? Oh, there we
you're
go.
not.
There we go. Got the rhythm.
I mean,
there we go.
there we go.
There we go.
Pro
You can do
Fortnite
the other
gamer.
thing.
I'm going to do the other thing on the next elevator. I'm saving that one right for the end. I'm going to grab this breach just in case, because if I die, I'll respawn all the way back at the top. And there's a non-zero chance, because this bit is really, really sketchy. The movement in this part is very precise. As Roman said earlier, if there's one thing to know about space, it's that A, there's no oxygen, and B, there's loads of radiation. This is not good for a man wearing a robe with a blappy stick and a cube. And here we go, outside in space.
Yeah, the flappy stick and cube is all you need.
It is literally all that I need. You are supposed to craft an EVA suit to do a spacewalk here, but if you have enormous cojones, you're able to just run all the way through to an airlock and just about make it. The timing is kind of tight on this first stint. It's extremely tight on the second one. So this is the airlock I need to make it to down here. I'm just making sure I've got enough oxygen to make it. Okay. And then I'm going to use my other healing item to remove my radiation. Radiation works in 3 stages. The first bit is a dot that just decreases your health slowly. I was too early on that, so I'm going to change my mind. Can I activate it really quick, please? Okay. Yeah, sorry, I was a little bit too early there. I was too zealous. The second thing it does is when it ticks to the next layer up, it starts decreasing your max health. And curing the radiation does not fix that. So I need to make sure now that I just make it all the way through here and try and take as little damage as possible. I heal twice before I go in because there are enemies in the way here with guns, which is really helpful. Oh, that's bad.
You've been smacked.
There's a pretty good chance I'm going to die now. If this guy hits me, I'm... Yeah, we'll go again. That was really unfortunate.
That was death number 3, if I recall correctly.
I think so, yeah.
Yep.
Normally what I do there is I just shoot him as I run up, because you can one-shot him before he gets a chance, but my health was so low that I couldn't afford to waste the time to do it. That was a shame. That guy that stabbed me in the back very rarely does that move. Very, very rarely.
It's just marathon luck.
Oh, there's me. Let's kill me. Nice, now I've got 3 heals. That's going to make life a lot easier.
You have 3 heals and 3 red disturbance.
Exactly. So what I can do now is I can sort of... there'll be a spot later on where I can use the third one just to really mitigate the HP loss. You can get away with only using one, but it makes it extremely sketchy. So I like to use one here while my stamina regens for this run. And then use another one right as I get into the airlock.
Like the thought of just like being in space and you have like these space marines running around in space suits, EVA suits, being fully prepared, and then there's this random dude in a skirt and tank top running around with a staff and a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah,
you imagine seeing him, you'd just be like, what is wrong with him?
They just back off from the sheer dominance that's been asserted.
Yeah.
I wish I got a T-pose emote, I'd just do it if I could. This time I'm actually going to wait for the
T-pose on
oxygen
them in the
properly.
space radiation.
There we go, right. I'm full oxygen. This time if I get stabbed in the back, I can actually heal, so it's not the end of the world. This time I'm going to really hopefully just let a nerd.
Also, the floor there also really scares me all the time because it's glass, but yeah, it's glass, you can see through it. It's like, oh my god, why are you running towards the hole?
This time, that's what I would have done if I had not been quite so... okay, so what I'm in risk of here is running out of oxygen as I do these jumps. So I'm going to just hop across these as quick as I can. And I'm good, I think. Right, now that I've got this breach, I am good. Breach activated, save and quit. And then before I immediately suffocate, I just respawn.
Yeah.
That'll give me both my charges, my healing charges left. I'm going to use one as I get back inside, because I'm obviously going to spawn outside in space, being irradiated immediately. And I'm right in front of a boss that's... I'm going to say this is my second least favourite boss in the game, because it's really obnoxious to fight. It does a lot of damage, and the tells for its attacks are kind of mean. Let me in. I'm starting to take max health damage. Okay. So I haven't taken so much damage there that I'm in any real part of me danger. I'm not going to get one shot. But I do need to be careful. So, through this fog gate is an enemy I genuinely really despise. Say hello to the transporter.
Wow. Here's Captain Longtongue, a boss that deals a lot of damage, and given the like tight area you fight him can easily hit you, and like the smacks deal a lot of damage. Like a lot.
Very cool reference to H.R. Geiger's designs.
Yeah, it is. It's a really cool enemy design, I just hate it. What? Okay, I got him. Right before he cleaved me in two, so I'll take it. Right, I picked up an item there called the Branch of Light. You might think, splendid, that sounds like a mage weapon that you probably won't use because it's too late. No, you consume it for 50,000 Axions. Why it's a Branch of Light is utterly beyond me, but I'm going to use that and then immediately pump my Catalyst as high as I possibly can. Also, based on the IGT, I'm going to do things ever so slightly out of order here. Instead of going and doing the eye towers now, I'm going to go and do Port Isidun next, because I can mitigate having to Alt F4 the game at this point, which just makes life easier for everybody. If I go and do this and consume that, I'm then going to go and make my weapon powerful. Hadron of Light.
I'm trying to think of other speedruns where you actively have to close the game. So not just go out of your current run, but like close the game in order to use some strats.
I can't think of any off the top of my head.
No, neither can I.
Same here.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, you know, like Sonic 3 Air has like clever menuing, but you're not leaving
Hell of a
the
game,
game.
If that thing is like going back to the menu is one thing, but actively closing the game, like just shut down the entire thing.
I almost missed the reference when you said that up.
So Port Isidun is the third area with the third major boss. We went through Alma Mater and the Ikari Walkways and Alma Mater Atrium. That's kind of like the demon land with the victims and the some of the like random humanoidy people. Then we went through the Arisen Dominion, which is the II place, and now we go through Port Isidun, which is the fleshy fun place. I'm going to grab this breach for a save and quit.
Just grab a handful, put it on barbecue.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure that'd be perfectly sensible and wouldn't... No issues with that whatsoever. There's a key item I need to grab over here, and I'm going to save and quit back to that breach in a minute. You're in a bad place, consumer. That wasn't sketch.
Skillful.
All went as calculated.
Yeah, that consumer absolutely just got skill diffed.
Right. GG easy.
It's just purely an issue of skill.
Indeed. Right, that key is for a doorway that is directly underneath where that breach is. So grabbing that out of the way is pretty handy. And then obviously, it's not actually that long a run to get back out of that warehouse and to the doorway, but the door shuts behind you as you go in, and you have to wait around 10 seconds in order to be able to press a switch to open it. So it does actually, like, waste quite a bit of time. So just running back to here and then loading back in is the better way to do it. Go through here. We're going to have to do quite a lot of saving and quitting to backtrack in this area. There's a few places to do it. This is one of those ladders that you can just fall off and then jump on right near the end. If you're really brave, unlike me. It's genuinely extremely cool seeing it done. We're going to go off the beaten path ever so slightly here to grab a breach. It's very easy to get stuck in this room, so I'm hoping that I don't have to save and quit here. Let's grab that. Then I'm going to ride down here, jump over this hand spider. He's not there. Oh, that's really not helpful. Not even close. Right, we get to see if we get trash RNG now. One thing I've actually not talked about. Yeah, we got trash RNG.
Oh boy.
Enemy placement and, like, debris and obstacles are randomized their locations when you start the game. That massive trash pile in the middle of that room, it's, you know, random if it's there or not. So it's trash RNG. I need to go through that room there to grab a vault key, and then I go up here to grab another key, and then I save and quit to go back to that breach that I activated. Because this is the key to the door that was just behind it. That basically lets me go backwards through the area to get to another key item and the second objective for the architect back in the observatory. This is another section where you can do a lot of really cool falling onto mag rails if you're braver than I am. It's genuinely extremely flashy.
I just now realized the pun of the trashy RNG with
Yeah,
the
trash
pile.
RNG. Yeah, it's good. It's personally one of my favourite speedrunisms. Just trash RNG for the trash pile. I'm going to hop down here. I'm going to hop down here. Shout outs to Aylis's wife, who's just tried to cut my head off. I think... Oh, also, sometimes when you take damage, right, I don't know why, you get this weird sort of, like, zoom in and zoom out effect. It's really unhelpful, to be brutally honest, currently, where I am now, because I kind of like to be able to see where I'm going. I'm really carefully using these mag rails to land on specific platforms, so I can get down to the bottom of the area nice and safely. I'm going to heal, because I'm going to save and quit anyway, and then I need to make sure that I don't snag myself on the fleshy ceiling tumour and fall in the pit. Ow. Okay, that's not ideal.
Re-haircut.
Do a quick safety heal again. Ow. That was really mean.
Yeah. They're just relentless in the air. Shout out to Aylis's wife again.
Yeah, shout out to the consumer that I'm narrowly avoiding. Yeah, those particular enemies with the short swords are really, really mean and hard to dodge because they attack incredibly quickly. So I'm going to really carefully hop down here, but fortunately I'm not going to have to deal with many more of them. All the way to the bottom of here, where there's a
platforming Souls games is always a really tricky part because they tend to be rather slippery, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But you're landing on the edge of a platform, it's like, I should be safe. Slip. Nay!
The platforming in this, I would say, is less slippery than you'd expect from a Souls game, but that's because it's sort of been designed with it in mind. That's not to say it's perfect, though. While I was learning the game and before I got a proper handle on it, I'd find that I'd either completely overshoot jumps or massively undershoot them, with no in between. And the only thing that's made the jumping really consistent and tolerable for me is learning to do a heavy attack in midair to just completely cut all of your momentum.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the problem with games like Dark Souls, is it carries forward your momentum just a little bit when you land on something. So if you don't get your jump precise enough, then yeah, you will just go flying off.
Okay, that was pretty smooth. Whoop! Oh, okay, he hit me. That's not great. This upcoming boss, I would say, is my third least favourite boss in the game, after Transporter and an upcoming boss. Because he's just got a lot of really nasty nonsense moves, and he's genuinely really, really hard to fight. So I'm going to do my best to not get absolutely annihilated by him, but this will either be over in 20 seconds or might take an attempt or two. Fortunately, the run to him isn't too big. Right then.
I was about to say, like, I like these sound effects and sound design in the game quite a lot, but something that threw me off really much when I first heard it is if you heard the NPCs talking in the game, it hits this uncanny valley of
Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, like when he does his like tanties where he slaps with his hands, it stun locks you. Your iframes last through the second hit of the combo. They wear off by the third. There is a very, very small window where you can spam a dodge and get away with it, but it's really unlikely to hit it.
Also, sorry for throwing through the boss. I was just going to say, like, the language in the game that the NPCs use is based on, I think, Polish and Russian, but made nonsensical with other gibberish. So it's like, it sounds close enough to a real language, but at the same time it doesn't, which hits this uncanny valley feeling.
Yeah, it's a mix of other languages.
Also, the boss has a really cool name because it's the Master of Puppets.
Yeah, he has a really long name as well. It does not fit in my splits. Because his full name is like Ozzy Gojirima.
The Army Guija, the Master of Puppets.
Okay, so this is a really, really unfortunate move, where he spawns loads of little hands everywhere. But it's probably given me enough energy to finish the boss off. This is kind of what I want to do. This is also why I genuinely really don't like this boss, because it's either a complete joke or you get absolutely womboed. But with that it means I can infuse my energy to 18. I'm probably going to put any bonus levels at this point into Foresight, because the damage on it does scale higher than 30. Based on where the clock is on IGT as well, on the clock at the top. I'm now going to go do the Eye Towers bit. So this is the last optional boss before the end of the game.
If you saw on the top right corner, you have a data percentage, which shows, because the whole plot of the game is collect data and report back to us, and now we're like above 100%, so we collected more than necessary, theoretically.
Yeah, as soon as you get to 100%, Computer Dad will call you back to then send you up into the final area. But we've then, obviously gone to go and see the architect who's told us, can you do these extra things first? I believe you can earn up to 150% data. I think there's probably an achievement for it. Personally, I've not done it, but I'm led to believe that it does go that high. I'm interested to see what they're going to do when the DLC comes out in the near future, whether or not that's going to have its own set of data. I'm quite looking forward to the DLC. I think it's going to shake the route up quite a bit, because it's going to add in a whole new area, so the timing considerations are going to change a bit.
So RPG, casually speaking, like casually first playthrough, would you say this game is more or less difficult than the Dark Souls games?
Overall, it's less difficult. It's a more accessible Dark Souls. It plays a little bit more like Bloodborne, and that the iframes are very generous, and that you do damage to sort of regain your healing charges. But it is a challenging game. Also, we can John Travolta on this lift for a bit now. It's my favourite lift. Sort of look left and look right. We're actually going up a lift that's directly underneath where we chose where we used the passports to go between the walkways and the zone district. But we need to come up here now to configure some towers and put in some codes. You're supposed to find these in the game and like write them down. I've never done that, so I've got them in a notepad file in front of me. I'm going to put that one in and this one, because I've got to configure them in specific ways to unlock special fog gates. So 7, 9, 4, 7. I think this will work, but I'm going to just double check. This will only work at specific times on the clock, and I'm literally just waiting for that golden beam to start, because then I know it's worked.
Any second now.
Perfect.
There we go.
Yay.
This would have been the point where I would have had to do a save and quit, Alt F4 the game, and then reload it back up, and that would have set the clock back to 0 because the game can't communicate with its server. So it would be like, oh, I don't know what time it is. Start at midnight to manipulate that.
Imagine when the light tower goes on, it plays the Windows XP boot up noise.
Indeed. So what we're going to do here is go backwards very briefly. The way to get to this boss is through the Arisen Congregator's boss room. We entered from that way over to the right. That's the quick way to get to the boss. There's a way through the middle that's really painful, and there's this way that would have been off to their left, which is really slow by comparison. Fortunately, though, there is a fog gate hidden away over here, and that golden beam we've channeled at that symbol removes the golden fog gate. If we'd not done that, we wouldn't have been able to fight this boss, and it looks like I'm just going to avoid the black hole hour, unless it ticks in as I press the fog gate. Oh, look who it is!
It's the first Archon Knight. I mean, the last one, but like the first he's
there
dead.
he goes. He is the last Archon Knight, because I killed him in 2 hits.
What do you mean? He's brand new.
Ah, well, he's gone now.
I mean, he was the first.
He was. I do now, very quickly, need to go back to the observatory and actually tell the architect that I have rerouted the power. Because if I don't do that, he won't be at the end, and I will have accidentally missed the final boss. So I'm going to really quickly backtrack there before I go and see Computer Dad. After Computer Dad is my least favourite boss in the game, because either its AI breaks and it's really easy, or its AI works and it's dreadful. That's literally how it works. Right, Architect.
Yeah, quick spoilers, Computer Dad is actually evil.
Well, he's not evil, but there's more to it than meets the eye. He's going to give us a choice. Okay, he's going to now make his way up to the final area, as am I. So I'm going to transport myself to the embassy. And then we're going to go and speak to Computer Dad. And what Computer Dad is going to say is basically, good job, Robot Son, on gathering all that data. Come on up to the lab, please, and we can meet in person.
Yeah, we can definitely just talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've actually never spoken, but...
I mean, it's the typical of the dad coming to being like, we have to talk.
Yeah. Gonna just John Travolta while I sit on this again a bit.
Just getting full named, you know.
Indeed.
Anything more scary as a kid than getting full named by your parents?
Indeed. So, what I'm going to do here is... I need to run to that door to actually trigger it to open. I'm going to use this breach just so I've got it in case I die to the boss. And I'm going to just see if I can level up. I can. Will this get me a damage point? Nope. So energy it is.
Reginald Periwinkle Gaston, the Hidden Wizard, come to the top floor to talk with me.
Exactly. So there's a really interesting, unique enemy here. It spawns a red ghost thing out of... Oh, we got the sword, the Cleavery Man. There's a number of different ones it can be. None of them give actions when you beat them. So there's no point. Like, I mean, I would avoid him anyway, but like, there's double incentive there to just not bother. We need to hop down here and turn a bridge on. And then I'm going to head up here. And hopefully he's not going to be in the way. That's fine.
This area looks so nice and clean. It's like such an interesting change of scenery.
Yeah, it's nice. The architect should be in here now. Okay, good. And he's going to be like, right, what I'm going to do, while you deal with your dad, I'm going to hack him. So get on with it. Right. Activate this. And I'm going to know very quickly if I'm in for a bad time or not.
That sounds like a fair trade-off. Like, yeah, you go deal with him. I'll just stay back here, mate. And
I'll try to figure out its admin password and find out if it's admin.
Yeah. That sounds fair.
I think it's because I did a long jump, but he hasn't moved, which means that I might be able to freeze his AI. I do need to not button mash this though, because if I button mash, I will let him absorb all my data and kill me. So how about I'm not doing that, Father? And how about I'm going to fight you. Right, this is my least favourite boss in the game, and hopefully you're not going to see why.
Oh lord, he coming.
Okay, I think I've broken his AI by just front-loading damage into him.
Yeah, looks good. Looks good. Go Blapstick.
Nice.
Yeah.
Actually clean fight. Now, I'm not on PB pace, but even if I were, this would be the point now where I have to go and do a certain special little something, don't I? So I'm going to let this cutscene play out. Normally, if you haven't spoken to the architect, this breach is not yellow, like it's synchronized. The architect's done this so we can teleport somewhere, and you just walk into it and you start New Game Plus. So what I'm going to do, let me just make a very quick adjustment here. I'm going to move some things around in my OBS really quickly and hopefully not break anything. So what I'm going to do, and the reason I'm doing this, is in my submission video, this boss broke, so I had to do the final boss like this. So we're going to walk through, I can only apologise to my commentators who can't see this now. We'd walk through this void, and we'd end up in space, right? And space is black, and I'm going to draw some stars really quickly. These are definitely stars. It looks like this. You all know what space looks like. I'm going to undo all that because it's easier to draw what I'm going to do next. And inside space, right, there would be a big purple man. He would look something a little bit like this, I think. So he's got like a big sort of blobby torso body, and then he's got like, he's a bit noodly, really. He doesn't have a head, it just ends in like a stump, and he's got these really big, long arms with really, really big fingers. And he sat atop this like golden cage thing. So like he sat like in here in this like magical cage, and he's floating around in space, woobly woobly on it, right? And surrounding him are these four like different shaped magic cubey things. There are like 5 of them, and there's like one with a blue gem and one with a red gem, and then I think there's a green one and a yellow one that's turned out gold again, and I think there might be a black gem. And he spawns and goes, "Woo! I am God! How dare you!" And then the cutscene fades out, and what happens is I immediately start running towards him. So we're going to move to a new scene so I can do this. New. That'll do. And here's me. This is me running towards the boss really, really quickly. I'm going to draw him again really quickly. Like, I really hope this doesn't fill the whole screen. Good, like this. Let me draw his little sticky body and his big arms. And he's got a few different attacks that I need to be really, really careful of. First move he does is he fires out this big arc of like black energy, and it goes whoom, and then it explodes up like this, like boom. And if it hits me, I get knocked over and it really, really sucks. But what I would do is I do a really, really sick dodge to the right and avoid it, right? Then I'd get close to him and I go blap with my cube. I haven't drawn my cube yet. What's wrong with me? Here's my cube. And here's his golden cubes. I'm only going to draw a couple of them for effect. And I'd use my cube to go blap, 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 and break all of his cubes, right? And then once they're gone, then I start shooting him in the back, and I have to run behind him. Because if you run behind him, he gets really confused and does loads of attacks that don't hit you. But if he does get in front of you for whatever reason, he'll do the arc one, and like it's annoying. Or if he's feeling really spicy, he might do something like this, where he's got like 2 big arcs, and you have to stand in the middle, and you have to be really careful and dodge through them. Or he might be like, here's a big frontal cone that blows up, and you have to dodge it. And I would dodge that one because I'm really, really competent at video games. But other things he might do is he might spawn this like little purple orb, and it would constantly pelt me with purple bolts that are really annoying, and I'd probably get hit by. And my health bar would look a bit like this probably. Here's my, nope, that's purple. This is my normal health bar. Here's what my health bar looks like if I get hit by that. It's really, really bad for me, honestly. What else does he do? He's got this really pointless move where he summons a pathetic little purple puddle on the ground, and like 10 years after it spawns, it goes boop. You dodge that one, it's fine. You have to just completely ignore that one. The only move he does do, and like while we're fighting and I'm sort of like running in and blappy sticking him a bit, and I'm going to pew in his back. He does this move where he summons like a big purple star underneath me. And what happens is, immediately after that, it goes boom on every thingy. And that hits me and I die instantly. And then that hits me and I go, dang, let's try again. And I respawn and I run back at him again. And I keep trying. And this time, I get him to phase 2. And in phase 2, what happens is, he sort of goes like this. and the entire screen goes orange really quickly because the black hole appears. And then it goes away, and then the phase continues exactly as it was before. And sometimes he does this thing where he goes a little bit yellow and glowy, like this, and he teleports away, and it's really annoying. But eventually I hit him a few times, and then he disintegrates, and then I sit in his little golden casing and go, I guess I'm God now. And then I spawn into New Game Plus, and a man laughs at me. And that would be time.
It's time. Right, so
Now-
I was watching that on a bit of a delay because I had to watch that on the actual Twitch channel, but that was absolutely insane.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
That was hilarious.
I do realise we are a little bit above estimate because of the tech mishap. Would tech be happy for me to run in and have one attempt at the boss so people can see whether or not I was accurate in my recreation? I am more than happy to stop there and move on and do shoutouts, but if people want to see it and tech want to see it, I'm more than happy to run in.
I mean, I'm not tech, I'm the host, but I'd love to see it.
Oh, go on then. Right, let me just swap the scenes back around then. Right.
Yay.
Now you'll get to see
gotta
whether
say
or not I lied.
The painting of RPG, in my personal opinion, absolutely on point. Like, that is a masterpiece, if one may say so.
Travel to outside space and time.
That's what it feels like when I'm at work.
Okay, so I can't skip this cutscene, but here we go. That's me in space. I did see that space. That's what it looks like. Here he is. Oh, I forgot about his big glowing orange tendrils. Sorry, that's an important detail. I forgot about that. But I drew purple man with big arms and big fingers and a cube, right? I got that bit right. Got that bit right. And I didn't draw a head on him, so there we go. Right then. Oh, he's doing the 10,000 years attack. Dear. Okay, that's fine. And it'd be useful if I could lock on. Ow. I'm not doing a brilliant job. Oh, no game audio. It should be there. I'm broadcasting it. Okay. Right, now that I blew up all of his cubes, I'm going to run behind him and hit him with the blappy stick. And he's going to teleport away again. Thank you very much, boss. Can you not do that? Oh, that's the move that kills me. That's the move that kills me.
I agree with
No!
Chapter drawing was more realistic.
Right, let's regenerate some energy and actually do some damage to him now. Okay, so we got phase 2. Now all the orange happens. Keep dodging a minute. And regenerate some energy. He's running away again.
Lap stage.
Whoop.
Oh no.
Ah, so his cubes are respawning. That's unfortunate. They do eventually respawn anyway. That's a really, really unfortunate place to be. Ow. This is I'm doing really badly at this boss fight. Honestly, I should have left it at the paint drawing. Oh, he got me. He got me. Well, we'll call that time. That is, unless people really want to see me finish it, I am very aware we're behind schedule.
That was death number 5?
That was death number 5. And honestly, there's literally no difference between the rest of the fight. Oh, actually, I'm now completely screwed. I'm now stuck with him in, like, super boss mode. Absolutely stuck with him. So, unless there are any messages...
Wow.
Nordic, I'll launch into shout-outs.
No, go ahead and hit your shout-outs.
So what I'll say, I'm actually going to quit the title so we don't have to watch me perish over and over. Massive shout-outs. Actually, no, I'll start with Genie the Only Kid. That's my first shout-out.
Absolutely.
I want to say a massive shout-out to Hellkite and Jungle Robber, who are the only other 2 runners of this game currently that are active. If you want to see this game done really well, watch them. They're much better at it than I am. I want to say, massive thank you to all the event staff for putting this on, to Roman and Tej for joining me on this commentary journey. Massive shout out to Lakis, who signed up to be a volunteer and then got really stressed about it. Really proud of you. Good job. Everyone in Club 601, Hud, Xanon, Ben, love you all to bits. There's way too many people for me to possibly list. But I appreciate every single one of you. Roman, Teach?
I mean, I did all my shout-outs yesterday, but I forgot to shout out, like, the actual organisers of the event. So I'm going to do that now. So, like, shouts to Mindez, Huds, Amber, Alec K, Argic, just everyone for, like, putting on, like, just a very well-ran event. Kid would have been extremely proud. So,
absolutely.
As for me, I am agreeing with both of you. First of all, Junior, the only kid. They will always be remembered in our hearts. And I'll be a little bit short with the shoutouts because I'll be running myself a little bit later. But thank you very, very much for having me as a commentator RPG. It is always a joy to hang out with you.
That too. Yeah,
GG's
yeah,
on
that
your
too. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, like thanks for actually bringing me along.
No, it's my pleasure.
It was cool. It was cool learning a new run that I don't do. So
yeah, that will be all from me in the marathon. But I'll be around in chat, and I'm looking forward to seeing just the sheer quality level of run that's been on display all weekend is mind blowing. Yeah. So I'm going to watch until I fall asleep tonight. I can't wait to see the rest of it.
I'm going to make a bacon sarnie and then chill in front of the computer, I think, for the rest of the day.
Sounds like a plan. Over to you, Nordic.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much to all of you. This was an amazing run to watch and to listen to and to just hear all the interactions going on. And again, thank you to everyone in chat as well, if we're giving shout-outs, because it's chat that made everything happen here today. We have more than tripled our initial goal. We've crossed over $9,000 raised in memory of Kid and towards the Trevor Project. And again, this has just been an absolutely amazing marathon to be a part of. That's going to actually bring my shift to a close as well. But coming up after the break, you are going to have cool new games. First off, we're going to have Puyo Puyo Su, which is being run by Arcanian. And hosting, I will be putting you all into the ever so capable hands of Astrus Evolution. So, enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you all next time.
Hi, I'm Paxi, aka the Cupcakes. I'm a Sonic 2 and Knuckles speedrunner specializing in the Sega Ages port. I met the only kid in 2020. The Sonic and the Shiny Things hotfix event was being organized, and being that I wasn't seriously speedrunning at the time, I mostly hung out on the sidelines and cheered people on. It wasn't until Kid's All Emeralds run of Knuckles the Echidna 2 that I thought I could actually speedrun the game. They made it look fun, and that's always been important to me, having fun while speedrunning. On top of that, Kid was just amazing. They weren't only great at the game, but they didn't let mistakes hold them back. They rolled with them, and they had fun with them. As someone who can't not beat themselves up over every little mistake, that was amazing to see. After the event, I found the Sega Ages port of Sonic 2, which allowed you to play as Knuckles, and I hopped into it and spent weeks just trying to beat the game, which I hadn't done before. I'd have kids run from Shiny Things on in the background while I played, so I could learn from them how to get through things. When I beat the game for the first time, I about lost my mind. And when I actually started speedrunning on my Twitch channel, I would always shout out Kid for getting me into the Nux gang. When I found their Twitter, I would shout them out constantly, and they and I would talk about Knuckles lore. And when they let me add on to the lore that they had brought up at Sonic and the Shiny Things, I felt like the luckiest person in the world because they thought I was cool. When I had my first marathon run at Power Up with Pride in 2021, I wanted to ask Kid to commentate for me, but I didn't want to waste their time because I didn't think I was good enough, so I never asked. I had no reason to think that. Kid was never anything but kind to me. They even said once that they'd be willing to do commentary for me, but I never asked. I know they wouldn't want this, but I'm never not going to regret not asking them. When Amber told me that kids supported me, I started to cry, much like I'm starting to cry right now. Their support is always going to mean the world to me. And I'm always going to support them, even though they're no longer with us. I'm going to keep running Knuckles in their honor. I don't care how not good I am at it. I'm always going to run Knuckles for them. And they're always going to have... All that lore that they came up with is always going to be woven into my runs, and they will always have a shout out. So, kid, thank you for everything that you did for me, and I miss you so much. And as always, hashtag justice for Knuckles.